the University of Chicago librarian who ended James Holzhauer's legendary Jeopardy! Run in Monday night's episode had no idea who he was when she first played. Emma Boettcher, 27, had prepared for the show by watching every day at home standing as if she was behind the podium, figuring out her most comfortable footwear, using a clicker pen and toilet roll to practice hitting the buzzer, and taking notes about her weak points every time she failed to pick up a clue. Boettcher began filming her scenes for the game show on March 12, getting on after auditioning in person 4 times previously, but Holzhauer's unbelievable winning streak was only publicized in an episode that aired in April. It was weird to be a daily watcher of Jeopardy, and somehow there's this phenomenon that I'd never heard of. The woman who first tried out to be on the college tournament show when she was senior in high school told New York Times. After completing 50 clue mock tests at previous auditions, when she visited the studio this time around she was told she'd be playing someone who had won over $2 million, but at that stage the Nevada man had not been broadcast. Still, it didn't faze Vulture, who did her University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill master's thesis on predicting the difficulty of trivia questions, with a heavy focus on the program hosted by Alex Trebek. Her father fed her obsession with Jeopardy! From a young age by buying her books to help her brush up on subjects. Boettcher was one of over a dozen people waiting to find out if they'd been selected to challenge Holzhauer almost 3 months ago. "I was holding out a small sliver of hope that maybe one of these other people in the room that I'm with will get called up first," she admitted as she revealed she was straight up. The Philadelphia woman graduated from Princeton before she went after the information science degree for which she wrote the 70-page dissertation in April 2016. The final paper predicting the difficulty of trivia questions using text features mentions the word Jeopardy! 42 times. It analyzes 22,000 clues from the show as it delves into whether computer technology is used to determine the difficulty level of questions. "I was parsing the text of those clues for length, the words used in each, the syntax, and whether or not they linked out to audiovisual materials," she told Vulture. "I gave all of that information to a machine learning tool and said, if I gave someone just words, is it better than giving someone just length? If I gave someone just audiovisuals, would that be better than having no information at all?" It proved helpful in defeating Holzhauer after 32 games and $2,464,216 as, even though she'd never seen him on screen, she knew he'd use a technique similar to others who had won huge amounts. Boettcher told The Times she tried to remain calm while getting the chance to live out her dream by appearing on Jeopardy! "I was trying just not to dwell on it," Boettcher said about Holzhauer's winning streak. "I had already steeled myself to expect the unexpected, just roll with whatever was happening, take one clue at a time." Boettcher nabbed both of the daily doubles in Double Jeopardy after her notes from preparing at home reflected that she should wager her full earnings of $7,600. "When I watch the show, I often make a little grid of the board on a piece of paper and mark off what clues I got right and wrong," she told Vulture. "So when I got the call, I had all of this data in front of me, so I could be like, when it turns out the daily double is in this row, I have such and such chance of getting it correct, as opposed to this row." By the time final Jeopardy came around, she had $23,400, while Holzhauer had $17,800. In the last round, she wagered $20,201 on a Shakespeare topic as she was a literature major, while Holzhauer only bet $1,399. The $1,399 bet was uncharacteristically small for the professional gambler, but he later explained it was to ensure he didn't come in third place, even if he got the question wrong. The professional Las Vegas gambler was just $56,484 shy of beating Ken Jennings' 2004 winnings record when he lost to Boettcher. She hadn't processed the reality until the host verbalized it. "I don't think I felt like I won until Alex said so," she told The Times, adding that she also sang tunes from Natasha, Pierre and the Great Comet of 1812 out loud to distract her enough to make it to the next game without nerves getting the best of her. Jeopardy tapes 5 shows a day, so she didn't get to chat to Holzhauer after her win. Holzhauer took to Twitter on Monday night to congratulate Boettcher for her world-beating performance. "There's no greater honor than knowing an opponent had to play a perfect game to defeat me," he wrote. Holzhauer has still made plenty a mark on his show, winning the Cinch game winnings record with $131,126 and nabbing the top 16 single-day scores. His success also did wonders for Jeopardy itself, which has earned its best ratings in 14 years during Holzhauer's streak. He had also emailed her congratulations and told her to make sure she knows what she wants to get out of the show. Share this article. Vulture reported she believes they had different strategies, saying her approach to jump around a board a little bit so the higher value clues were taken care of first was more whimsical than Holzhauer. Record holder Jennings also tweeted at Holzhauer, sharing a photo from Avengers Endgame after Thanos has wiped out half the universe. Actual photo of James Holzhauer walking off stage at Jeopardy, his reign of destruction completed, Jennings wrote. Jeopardy! Planning action against episode leakers. Jeopardy! Bosses will be taking action against anyone responsible for leaking the outcome of Monday's episode. News that James Holzhauer's 32-game winning streak had ended emerged early that morning after a video circulated online. The Sony Pictures television programmers believe they know who is behind footage being shared early, but can't say at this point, according to executive producer Harry Friedman, who says the action will be very, very, very appropriate. "Somebody alerted us that they had seen it on YouTube. By the time we saw it, it already had 2,000 views," he said in an interview with Washington Post. "I feel bad for the viewers. It's not fair. I'm not sure what's gained by doing something like that, other than some malicious intent. It doesn't really benefit anybody." Holzhauer himself offered a cryptic tweet hours before most of the country had seen the episode, saying he knew I shouldn't have invited @Drake to the @Jeopardy taping. Savvy sports fans would recognize the reference to a supposed curse that the rap star brings to teams he roots for. Friedman continued, "We were pleased and surprised that nothing leaked out before this past weekend. I think that speaks for the respect that people in studio audience have for the show. That part of it was very